meet the person, you don't stop wearing it. You just transfer it over into hoping they're going to make you feel like you're enough.
Yeah.
But when you're in a toxic relationship, that person, that other person is trying everything in their power to make sure that you're not feeling like you're enough, but you're hoping that they're going to give it to you. You see what I'm saying? You end up doing like a toxic dance.
Yeah, yeah, and it's circling through. So one person following on another one. So it's happen. Another is a social pressure as well. So if you look through like your friends getting married or having a boyfriend or partner, then you're deciding, oh, what am I waiting? I'm nearly 30 years old and I haven't found anyone. So we just rush through the process and find someone who's not actually perfect for us. And we don't ask any kind of question. We just ask them nonsense, I would say nonsense question, basically like what color you like, what food you like. That's basically it. But it's not like who you actually like, the person asking the tough question. Oh, this is who I am. After I'm living with you or being married with you, I'm going to do this kind of job, this kind of career, this kind of things I want to do. Is there something all right with you or not? We don't ask any kind of stuff. Or like, are you open-minded? Are you giving women respect or not? So that kind of question no one asks.
Yes.
I still remember when I'm dating my wife, that was 4 years back. And I had all question written down on my PDF file and I transferred over to her. And I was like, we're going to do Zoom call one day because I was busy over that time. We do Zoom call one day and go over all of the question. Does it make sense? Because I'm entrepreneur. I'm going to work 17, 18 hours sometime. Is it work for you or is it no work for you? Like, you're not going to expect someone I'm going to continuously be on the phone with you and all that because I have other life. And this is someone I'm going to be. Don't expect me to buy a house in next 2 years or something. Don't expect me to buy a flashy things because this is not who I am. So is there something aligned with us? So then tough question we made when first dated, like first week. And that made us like, we actually know who we want to be, what type of person she wanted. And I knew like what type of person I wanted. So that's a mutual agreement worked out really well. But I don't see that's coming from this generation right now. They just jump on it and just getting into like a dating and relationship is like they do it like next day, like a one day situation.
Yeah, the very next day. And what a lot of times what happens too, when you're in a toxic relationship, you don't realize it at first, but over time you will realize that other person knows more about you than you know about them. So you will ask them deep questions, but 9 times out of 10, they won't tell you. You see what I'm saying? Because they have not handled whatever led them to be that toxic. They have not handled those wounds. And a lot of times it's abuse. Those type of situations from different women I've talked to, a lot of times their ex-husbands have been abused. But a lot of that, they won't go into detail about, but they will know more about you than you do about them. And you won't notice until after a while, like something's off. I feel like they know everything about me, but I don't know too much in depth. You know what I'm saying? Because talking about like what you expect professionally and how many kids you want, that's different from what hurt you as a person early on. You know what I'm saying? And what have you healed from, or what do you need to work on as a person? You know, getting into your emotional wounds, that's different than like, where do you want to work? Where do we want to live? You see what I'm saying? That's more in depth. But you will, once you think about it, you will have given them more information than they will have given you. They're not, they've built up a wall that's so high that only therapy, going to therapy and the grace of God himself would have, you know, to get rid of that. And they have to want to change.
Yeah, definitely. So I know we're going to talk about how to get out of a toxic relationship. But before we do that, I want to know like how not to get into the toxic relationship. So let's say a young woman or even the mid-20s, mid-30s, wherever the age is, they want to choose someone as a partner. How they go about and finding it that doesn't end up being a toxic relationship.
To make sure that they're not getting in a toxic relationship, whatever wounds that they've had from childhood, they need to go to therapy and take care of that. Because what happens is we think that when we get into a relationship, all of a sudden, for some reason, we think that getting into that relationship is going to erase everything that has gone wrong with us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? For some reason, we think that. And then we go to another step and think, okay, once I marry this person, whatever I had when I was dating them, that's going to go away.
Yeah.
No, being in a relationship, it only exacerbates whatever problems we have as individuals. You see what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever we've dealt with, we have to go get help before going into the relationship. You know, we got to go see a therapist and get healing for that. And then sometimes we might need to go talk to our pastor, you know, to get advice before moving into that relationship, because they would know to ask the right questions, as well as the therapist, to see if we even ready to start dating. You see what I'm saying? Because not only do you have your own problems, but now you got this other person's problems that you're going to be dealing with. And that's going to affect you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. So sometimes we might not be ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think that that's the first thing, is that you've got to be able to deal with your stuff before you bring it in. You know, you got a backpack of problems. They've got a backpack of problems. And so both of those together, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's what you have got to begin to deal with it. And healing takes a while. Healing to me is a lifelong journey. What I would say is that you've gotten healed enough where you're not bleeding out. That's how you know when it's more contained, you're ready for a relationship. To even begin looking and enter.
Yeah, it's a slow process, and you have to go through the question. Before you change the world, you have to change yourself first, and then you find out what you want and who you want and how you want it, and then execute it. And like you mentioned, your wound is gonna heal over time, but it's a long-term process, and it's a slow process. So as long as it's not the worst, then carry on with your life. Yeah, it's just a great plan for people to get started with the relationship and not get into toxic relationship. And those who are already in a toxic relationship, like those women you're working with, how they get out, like how's the process like? Is it like a quit on the person, or like is there any way they work it out with their current partner?
Now, what the first thing that I would say when it comes to getting out, or even knowing if that should be your option, I would say you've got to, I call it a be still and know moment. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, be still and know that I am God. I'm exalted among the nations.